So hey guys, how are you? So this is me Samesar Jain. Well, just now I came back from the mall and I had been to this movie called 28 Years Later. Yes, you heard me right. The name of the movie is 28 Years Later. So this is basically, it is a English horror movie, horror come action, you can say, and it was directed by Danny Boyle, Danny space Boyle. The name of the director is director Danny Boyle. So basically, he's the one who actually directed this movie, this Hollywood movie. So first of all, I want to say congratulations. Okay, you have made a you have made a good movie. You have made a pretty good movie, Mr. Danny Boyle. Okay, directed by him. Well, now giving my honest opinion, giving my honest review about the movie. Um, just to give you in brief, just to give you in one sentence, the movie is not like very excellent. No, I won't say it is excellent, but at the same time, I won't even say it is completely bad. And some people might find it quite boring, and some people might find it wow quite interesting. I mean, the opinions of each individual differs, but in this video I'll be giving you just my overall review. I won't take too long. So basically this movie is about I think it is shot in Scotland, because in the movie when they showed, they were actually portraying the country of Scotland, somewhere in Scotland, between the Scottish and the French, England, Scotland, and even to a certain extent they had even shown the French soldiers in this movie. So this movie is about that 28 years before, there was something like a virus, something like this zombie virus. So after that virus had taken place, and a lot of people turned into zombies, and they were like trying to attack the, once the people became zombies, they tried to attack the common people. And then due to which, some people, they actually built their own secured home on another private island. So this island is on this island, it is actually connected to the mainland. It is the mainland is where where all the urban cities are there, especially it is connected to Scotland. So the mainland, which is the urban cities, between this mainland and this separate island, which is a few yards away from the, a few yards in the ocean away from the mainland, and there is like a very small narrow bridge over there. So every day, at a certain point of time, the tides will come fast, and the tides will come fast, and even sometimes the tides will reduce. So these people who had uh, kept themselves safe on this separate island away from the mainland, basically they will be non-stop training how to fight with, they'll be training for fighting with the zombies, and that how to kill the zombies and everything. So, and there'll be this there will be this little boy, his name is Spike in the movie. Okay, not his real name. In the movie his name is Spike, and unfortunately his mother will be suffering from cancer. Okay, she'll be initially, as they'll show that she's all the time in bed, and she's actually suffering from cancer. But then this boy will not know until the end of the movie that actually his mother was suffering from cancer, and the reason is because his mother kept it a secret from him, just in case that this boy should not feel sad, or that he should stop, that he should not worry. I mean, after all, like every mother will care for their child. So and in this movie, another most astonishing thing what I found out was, normally, most of the other zombie movies which I have watched, they usually, they usually hunt the zombies using guns, using shotguns, AK-47 machine guns, and even, they use this, what do you say, sniper rifles. Okay, they use AK-47 guns, shotguns, normal handguns, and even, these special sniper rifles they use to kill the zombies. In most of the other zombies, in most of the other zombie movies which I have watched. But surprisingly, in this movie, 28 years later, uh, this, what do you say, most of the people, they actually kill the zombies using bow and arrow. Yes, you heard me right. They actually kill these zombies using bow and arrows. Like how people used to fight wars in the past using bow and arrows. That is how they would kill these zombies. And of course, even in this movie, towards the end of the movie, there will be some French soldiers who will also be trying to fight against the zombies to protect the normal people. So of course, towards the end of the movie, when those French soldiers came, yes, they those French soldiers, they were actually shooting the zombies with their machine guns. Okay, because they were the soldiers of France, so they were shooting the zombies using machine guns. But however, the for the most part of the movie, for majority of the movie, this lead character, the protagonist, who is that little boy, whose name is Spike in the movie, he was actually hunting down the zombies along with his father and many of his family members. On that island, there were many people. I mean, those people who are not infected by the zombie virus, they were actually living safely on that another island. So there, so there out of all the people, this boy Spike, whose name is Spike in the movie, who is the lead character of the movie, by the way, who is the protagonist, he and his father in the movie, and in fact, most of the people on that private island, whenever they used to kill the zombies, they would use bow and arrows. Unlike most other zombie movies, in this movie, the usage of guns and machine guns were not so much, but rather they used, arrows, spears, fire, etc., to kill the zombies. And these zombies, unlike many other zombie movies, these zombies, they don't just walk very slowly, they in fact happen to run very fast. And the difference between this zombie movie compared to other zombie movies is that in this movie, they were actually telling that, if you have to kill the zombie, you need to shoot the arrow either to the heart or to their head. Whereas in other zombie movies, you should only, you should only shoot the arrow, or maybe, in case someone is using a gun, they should only use the gun to shoot the zombie's head in order to kill the zombie in other movies. Whereas in this movie, you know uh, zombies were being killed by being shot in their heart and even in their face. So this was another part. And one more thing is, out of all these zombies, every group of zombies, they have got one alpha zombie. They even talked about this, that there is this zombie called the alpha zombie. This alpha zombie, basically, it is quite tall compared to other zombies. It's a male, it is quite tall, and even physically it's very strong. And that, unlike the other zombies, this alpha zombie, even after shooting not one, but even after shooting 5 to 10 arrows to its chest, to its heart, this alpha zombie would not die. Initially, actually, when this boy Spike, when he when he goes to the mainland from his safe island, because, initially he'll be practicing, he and his father will be practicing how to kill the zombies. So basically, that, his father will be teaching him, this boy Spike, right? he was actually being trained by his father how to kill the zombies. So that time when they actually went to the mainland from their private island, so that time actually, you know one of the alpha male zombies had actually followed them from the mainland back into their private island. And during that time also, when that alpha zombie almost came almost came and entered these people's safe island on the other side, then even initially first, people shot a lot of people shot a lot of arrows to its chest, to its legs, even to its neck. It still didn't die. Then finally, on that island, they had got one very, they had got one very big platform where, they would shoot they shot a big arrow. I mean, this arrow was something like not just a normal arrow, a very long arrow. And at the edge of the arrow, they basically, they actually tied that cloth and even lit the fire. They actually lit the fire, and with the fire, when they fired on this male, and along with the fire on the arrow, when they fired the arrow at this alpha zombie, then that alpha zombie was killed. So basically, the thing is that unlike other zombies in this movie, in every group of zombies, there is this one alpha male zombie. And this alpha male zombie, it just cannot be killed easily at all. I mean, like, even after shooting it multiple times, using arrows, basically the thing is that it cannot be killed easily compared to other zombies. It takes a lot of effort to kill this zombie. And any normal human being, those who are not, those who are not affected by the virus, any normal human being, if they were to try to fight this alpha zombie physically, it is just not possible. The alpha zombie is very strong. That even that, some people, they actually try to fight this alpha zombie physically in the movie. And this alpha zombie, it just like caught these people, and just without any additional effort, it just ripped their heads off. Even, like, even it caught two soldiers, and just holding the soldiers, in one hand, uh, this alpha zombie, it caught hold of the, it caught hold of the person's clothes, it caught hold of the soldier's dress. And using his other hand, he actually ripped the head of the soldier. So this alpha zombie, this alpha zombie would be killing the people by ripping their heads off their bodies. I mean, that strong and powerful it was physically. So for any common man to come and fight this alpha zombie physically, it is just not possible. So in order to kill this alpha zombie, it takes a lot of effort. You need to use, big arrows, fire. You need to use fire. By burning this alpha zombie with fire, you can kill this alpha zombie. And if you have to use arrow, you need to use, special arrows, special big arrows, and shoot it multiple and multiple times if you have to kill it. So basically, this was the case. And physically fighting this alpha zombie was just not possible for any normal human being. So basically, in this entire movie, what they showed was, these people who are not affected by the zombie virus, they and the zombies, they are at war. you know just like how, we just like how we all had a war against coronavirus, in the year 2020 and 2021, when COVID was there. Just like how, just like how all of us, you know we took all the necessary measures to keep ourselves safe from the, from the COVID-19 virus. Just like that, in this movie, the people and the zombies were at war. So the people on this separate island who are not affected, this entire movie was about, that, in case if any virus breaks out, how you should prepare yourself, how you need to, train yourself to fight the virus. In this movie, the virus was the zombie virus. So so those so all those people who became zombies, in order to keep them away from these in order to keep them away from these unaffected people, in order to keep them away from these normal people, all these normal people, they would train themselves, to fight these zombies. This was basically the entire movie. And another thing was that, in this movie, another shocking thing was, there was one lady who was a zombie, and while being a zombie, this lady actually gave birth to a child. But surprisingly, that child, the baby, it was not affected. The lady, the mother, not Spike's mother, another zombie, another female zombie, another lady who had already become a zombie completely. While being a zombie, she actually gave birth to a baby. But then surprisingly, fortunately and surprisingly, though she was a zombie, but this baby was not affected by the virus, and this baby turned out to be a human baby. So I mean, even in the end, they show that, okay, that this boy Spike, he sends a letter to his father saying that, see, this baby was born from the infected ones means the zombie. This baby was born from a zombie, but fortunately this baby is not affected by the virus, therefore please take care of the baby. So this boy Spike, he actually takes the baby, to his father, to his people, I mean, on that island where all those people are there who are not affected. He takes this baby there and then tells them to take care of the baby. So the thing is that, uh, so I mean, in most of the other in most of the other zombie movies which I have watched, they basically show that, any baby which is born from a zombie also instantly becomes a zombie. But whereas in this movie, though that baby was born from a female zombie, but that baby was not affected by the zombie virus. It turned out to be a normal human baby. So so this was a little bit surprising in this movie. But anyway, I mean, see, after all, it's a movie, and people, anyone who makes movies, every time, people can make their own, people can have their own ideas, especially if it is a fictional movie. By the way, this is not a based on true story movie. This is a fictional movie, of course. Zombies and all, these are all fictional beings. So being a fictional movie, of course, everyone can have their own ideas about how, everyone can have their own ideas about, what should be the qualities of the zombies and humans, etc. So overall, I can say, as I told you, I won't say that the movie was very excellent, completely awesome, worth watching. I won't say that. But at the same time, I won't even say that the movie was bad. The movie was, you can say, average. Out of 100, I will give 49-50%. Yeah, 49 to 50% out of 100. I will give for this movie, and this is my opinion, by the way. And one more thing, even I want to tell you that, this movie, right? Uh, for any one of you who are, let's say, if you don't like, too much of violence, okay? I mean, yes, there is action, there is little bit of action, that, fighting and using weapons, etc. But if any one of you, if you are someone, who feels very disgusted looking at blood, flesh, looking at blood, meat and flesh, then this movie is not for you. Please don't watch it, okay? if you are someone if you are someone who feels very disgusted looking at blood and flesh, then this movie is definitely not for you. You should not be watching it, because there is too much of bloodshed, and bloodshed and ripping of the flesh and meat, etc. So For all those who are like, who who hate to see violence, don't watch this movie. Okay, I mean trust me, you will not. If you're someone who cannot handle yourself watching violence, then this movie is just not for you. But otherwise, yeah, as I told you, so overall this movie, it is not very excellent, it's not completely good, but it's not too bad either. It's an average movie. So anyway, so this is my movie review about 28 years later. This is an American uh, latest zombie movie. Zombie, which is little bit of action. Of course, it is 80% horror, but 20% action. And a lot of scenes are like, how this boy, he tries to help his mother by taking his mother to a doctor, this little boy Spike, right? So actually, that most of those people on the island, they will think that there is one crazy doctor on the other part of the island. But whereas, this boy, he actually takes his mother to the doctor. And then, like, that after coming back, I mean, of course, and but then eventually, his mother could not be cured from the cancer in the movie. Okay, his mother could not be cured, and therefore she actually passed away. So especially those scenes where, like, where the son is he's begging the doctor, he's begging this doctor to save his mother's life. And his mother is like, saying, don't worry my son, everything will be fine. So these scenes were like, quite, you can say, a little bit emotional as well. Though, some people might find that, okay, these scenes are quite boring, but then I will say those scenes were a little bit emotional. But then overall, as I told you, this is an average movie. Okay, so any one of you who want to watch it, it is going on right now in the theaters. Okay, so if you want to watch it, okay, go and watch it. And please feel free to give your own opinions about the movie. And but then, anyway, overall, I won't say this movie was too good or too bad, just average. But yes, one thing I'll tell you, there is one thing that this movie will you can learn from this movie is, okay, this movie was about zombie movies, but overall this movie is that, every day in our life we need to keep ourselves trained to face extreme situations. Just like how that boy Spike, his father was training him to face difficult situations in life. So in this movie they might have shown the zombies, but the message it gives is that every day you need to keep training yourself to face different challenges in life. So this is the message which I understood from the movie. What message you get from the movie, you tell me. But yes, one more thing I'll tell you. if you're someone if you're someone who cannot tolerate watching violence, if you're someone who feels very disgusted looking at blood, meat and flesh, then please don't watch this movie. It is not meant for you. Okay, if you have got a very strong heart, if you have got a very, if you are emotionally very strong, and you can handle yourself watching, lot of violence, blood, flesh, etc., then okay, you can watch it. But overall, according to me, I will say this was an average movie. I mean, this movie is not one of the best which I have watched, but also it is not one of the worst which I have watched. So just as I told you, this movie was just an average movie according to me. So all of you, if you want to watch it, please watch it. And any one of you, any one of you, in case you have already watched it, what do you feel about the movie? And what did you learn from the movie, and what did you feel from the movie? What did you feel about the movie? Please feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Okay, so it's already quite late now. I need to go to bed, and I'll catch all of you very soon in my next video. Until then, take care, have a nice day. Okay, good night.